Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Saturday morning sit down.
And for our Saturday morning sit down, we are going to Marina Bay Sands, a new attraction there, the Skyline Singapore Stories from Above. It opened on January the 17th up on the 56th level of the sky deck, the observation deck. Probably most of you know about that already. Jason Teo, the Director of Attractions at the Art Science Museum, Marina Bay Sands, is joining us also to talk about the Art Science Museum and what's happening there. Jason, good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Glenn, and good morning, Neil. Thanks for having me here today.
How are things down at the shop, as they say?
It's awesome. We had a very, very good start to January. We launched a new showcase at our observation deck, and then we had the very bustling Art Week and Art SG at Marina Bay Sands.
Right, yeah.
And then after that, we also had our International Advisory Board, who just came down last week. So yeah, it's a crazy January. Like I said, I seem to have worked 3 months already in just one month of the year.
Well, before we get into the Sky Park, I'm intrigued now. What's the International Advisory Board and what do they do?
So they are a group of 7 museum leaders around the world, from London, New York, Melbourne, India, Philippines, and they come annually to advise, to catch up with us and advise us on how we're doing, review our plans for the future, and just to make sure that we are up there in terms of museum standing, in terms of international museum standards.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That shouldn't be a problem, I wouldn't think. I mean, the Art Science Museum, since it first opened, has been really, really top class. What are you hearing from other folks from other museums around the world as they come through the Art Science Museum? I would imagine it's a fair amount of awe and good comments, but what are you hearing?
Yes, so we are very fortunate to be one of the few museums that explore the intersection of art, science, culture, and technology, meaning we have a wide range of topics we can always cover, letting the public always have something different to come and visit us on. And I think they're most wowed by how we curate our exhibitions. Whenever we travel shows in, we don't just bring in lock, stock, and barrel. We always add in a local content. And we also add in the thought-provoking element for people. We don't really just educate people, but we show them the possibilities, especially of the future, and have them dwell upon what's the interpretation of the future.
You know what else you do so well at the Art Science Museum, Jason? You have a wonderful mix of paid exhibitions, obviously, because you've got to pay the bills, but you have free attractions, free exhibitions, free screenings. You have that wonderful combination, so it's accessible to everyone.
Correct. Yeah.
I just think that's really great.
Tell us about the Sky Park, the Skyline Singapore Stories from Above. This is the one that's on the 56th story at the observation deck. There's been some things added to that.
Yes. So as if you don't already know, we are celebrating SG60 this year.
Yep.
And Marina Bay Sands also is celebrating our 15 years. So we thought it was a very...
I couldn't believe that.
15 already.
Jason, let me say, when we was talking earlier in the show, I was saying, hang on, how can they have this immersive journey about the Sky Park? And it's only been open for 5 minutes. And then we realised, almost 15
it's
years.
15 years old.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, so we're taking this opportunity to tell the story, not only of us, but of Singapore. Yeah. So it's entitled Skyline Singapore Stories from Above, and it showcases a captivating journey through Singapore's transformation all the way from its 1800s to the present day iconic skyline that it is.
So what is actually there if we go up? What do we see? Is it just photos? Is it what is it?
Yeah, so you start the experience in the basement where we have a timeline of the Marina Bay story. So many visitors, both foreign and especially the foreign visitors, they don't really know that what they're standing on was actually sea a long time ago. Yeah. So we start with the 1800s. We talk about how Singapore started as a fishing village with the Singapore River nearby, and then everything else is all reclaimed land. And then we move on to how Singapore reclaims the land, with the first major development being the Suntec and the Centennial area. And then after that, we move on to the Marina Bay area. And the other interesting thing that many visitors don't know about is that the whole bay is actually our largest catchment area. Yeah.
for one of our 15 taps. Are we up to 15 now?
Yeah, it's 20 plus now.
Is it 20 now?
I used to read a stat that Marina Bay now takes care of 10% of our water supply.
Is that right?
I know it's around that figure. Yeah, it's extraordinary.
I think we used to have 12 or 13 taps, and now we got 20.
Well, I know we've got 20 plus reservoirs.
Great.
Yeah.
So now when we go up on the top, up at the 56th floor, which of course that's the money shot, right? That's where you want to go and take all your photos. What do we see up there in terms of the stories from above?
Actually, if you don't mind, let's rewind a little, because besides the history, we also talk about how our famous icon of Marina Bay Sands was brought to life with the vision of our former founder, Sheldon Adelson, as well as the architect Moshe Safdie, who also designed the Jewel.
Yeah,
so we have behind the scenes and architectural design, how the concept came out and everything. And then also, as they wait for the lift, there's a very immersive black box where we have clips of the construction of Marina Bay Sands carved together in a very immersive video clip to show them the amazement of how everything was built and put together.
This is fabulous. So is this when you're going up in the lift, or as you're waiting?
Just as when you're waiting for the lift.
So as you're waiting for the lift, you get this immersive experience showing images of the beginnings of Marina Bay Sands. Right, I have a very important question. So it's photographs and video clips, that kind of thing. Do any of them show Glenn van Zutphen? Because the reason he knows why I'm asking this. You have to tell him this, because Jason.
You have to go down and try and spot yourself. There's 7 minutes of clips, so there's tons of people featured.
He was there before you, Jason.
All right. So 15 years ago, when they were I'll tell the story briefly. Apologies to anybody who's heard it before. So 15 years ago, they were finishing the 3 towers, right, before the swimming pool deck was put on. So they have what they call the topping out ceremony.
Correct.
So the last buckets of concrete are poured on the top, symbolically on each of the tops of the towers. And I was hired to host the topping out ceremony video. So all of the executives, we were on tower number 1, which is the main hotel tower. And in those days, you had to take the construction lift up the side of the building. It was a cage, basically, hauled up by 2 donkeys and a piece of rubber band or something like that. Anyway, so we were all up on the top, and I hosted the video, and they took pictures, and it was quite an experience because there was no fence around the edge. It was just that plastic, that orange plastic construction fence, stuff that you see through. That was the only thing that was keeping us from being down on the 56 stories down. So anyway, that's my claim to fame at the moment. I hosted that video.
So as we celebrate our 15 years birthday, it's probably more than 15 years since that happened, may I invite you back to the same spot? You can take the same photo, and then you can see how the Singapore skyline has grown since then.
I would like it if he was in a construction lift as well. So if you could bring that back just to see his terror, I'll appreciate it.
We have ways of mocking that up.
Well, interestingly enough, the place where that was done was pretty much right where the Lavo restaurant is now, right? Which happens to be our family's favorite restaurant for special events. We go there for birthdays and different things. So every time we go back there, I just sort of smile to myself. And this time we go up the regular lift, the nice one. Smells nice inside.
Beautiful. I have an interesting story about the history of the Marina Bay Sands too. So 15 years ago when we opened, I hadn't joined them yet. I was actually with another contractor company that actually built most of the exhibitions in the museum.
Wow.
And I was invited to the grand opening. I still have the invite card. It's actually made of metal and gold.
Nice.
None of my colleagues have it, so they are so jealous because they work so hard on it, but they don't have it. So I've kept it till today. And I remember that was the only time until now that someone could drive his car all the way up to the promenade and alight in front of the Art Science Museum for the opening ceremony, and that was our former Prime Minister, PM Lee.
Wow, yeah.
We're talking to Jason Teo, the Director of Attractions at Art Science Museum at Marina Bay Sands.
So yes, we were halfway through. So you've got this interactive, new, revamped Sky Park experience. We're at the lift. You're giving us an immersive experience of the history of Marina Bay Sands and the Art Science Museum. Then you head towards the lift. What happens next?
As you once you get up to the observation deck level, which is level 56, it's all about Singapore now, because you can't really see Marina Bay Sands at that time. So you can see the diversity of the neighborhoods that we have in the from that level. So there are sites and cultural districts that are further introduced through a series of new interpretive panels on the balustrades at the observation deck on both 57 and 56. And then as they leave the deck on the way down, we have an interactive map now to invite them to tell us where they are from. So it's very interesting, especially if you go at the end of the day, you can see for that day where are the major tourists coming from. And surprisingly, because Singapore is so small as a dot, if you put Singapore on the world map, we can hardly see Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a zoomed out version of Singapore, and then you can see people coming from east, west, Bedok,
nice.
and all these places in
That's cool.
Singapore too. Yeah. Last but not least, we always like to talk about the future. So we have four AI-generated concepts of the future of Marina Bay. Not done by us, but all done by artificial intelligence. So the visitors can choose what they prefer as the future of Marina Bay.
Fantastic, fascinating. As I said to you, I was there in, I think, September. I
Yes.
took my sister and brother-in-law up there. And what surprised me, because we're so sport in Singapore, Jason, we take all this stuff for granted. And the queues to the Sky Park, you're doing great business there still, which I'll get to.
Yeah.
But I spoke to a tourist, and they said that to them, they ticked off, something, what do they call it? Bucket list. They ticked
Yes.
off something from their bucket list to go to Marina Bay Sands. For international visitors, it has really become the place, hasn't it, in Singapore? It's testament to you guys that it's become this tourism landmark. So, one, I mean, what do you think about that? But two, what are your figures now? I mean, can you tell us the sort of visitorship you get to the Sky Park? I'm sure it must be huge.
We do get millions of visitors
Yeah.
since the opening. Unfortunately, I can't share the exact number, but the very fact that we are on the bucket list, that's why we revamped the observation deck, because we didn't want visitors to just come, go up to 56 and see the beautiful view without knowing the whole story and history behind it. The places you can view on observation deck, the history is so rich because like the old post office, the Fullerton Hotel, the Merlion, that was former Singapore, and that's where Singapore ended.
Sure.
So we have the whole story of the land reclamation, all the important sites you see. And we also go beyond that, beyond what you can see. We also highlight the cultural districts to show how diverse Singapore is. Like we highlight where Chinatown is, where Kampong Glam is, and Little India. And on a very, very clear day, I think it's one of the points in Singapore, you can actually see 3 countries. So you're standing in Singapore, beyond the Bukit Timah Hill, you can see that the skyscrapers in Johor Bahru, and over at the garden view, beyond Gardens by the Bay, you can actually see Batam and Bintan.
Fabulous.
Oh, that's great. And now with Chinese New Year coming up, Lunar New Year coming up, are there any special things happening, or anything different at the Art Science Museum or anywhere throughout? Of course, lots of decorations up and things, but anything specifically over this next week or two?
Yes, so Marina Bay, I think Marina Bay Sands is, besides Chinatown, is one of the most nicely decorated regions that you can go to during Chinese New Year. From Christmas all the way to Chinese New Year, the decorations in the shops are impressive, and we get a lot of visitors coming to take photos.
Nice. Yeah.
And looking ahead, I don't know how much you can tell us, but 2025 is going to be a big year for MBS, the Art Science Museum. I'm not expecting you to talk about the 4th tower that's being built. I mean, you can if you like, but what are the plans for MBS, Art Science Museum, looking ahead in terms of attractions?
Well, Neil,
You can tell us.
I think you came a few days ago
did.
for an announcement on the new plans for the museum. So we just announced 2 new exhibitions coming up. And finally, we are opening an art science laboratory. That's for everybody to come and drop in, especially for school groups, to come and learn more about the intersection of art, science, culture, and technology.
Brilliant. Sounds
Yeah,
fantastic.
sorry. I'd like to go back to Glenn's question. I forgot one important point, what
Sure.
to do in Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
So we have our very fabulous World of Studio Ghibli exhibition. It opened here in October.
Brilliant. I went there.
It
It's
is
fantastic.
ending right after Chinese New Year
is that
on
right?
the 2nd of February. So those who have not come and if you don't want to miss it, you have about 9 days left to
A
come.
few days left to go and see that, right?
I took my nephew. He's a film student. He was studying at LaSalle. He absolutely loved it. If you love film, particularly if you love animation,
Correct.
Studio Ghibli is fantastic.
Yeah, the storytelling is magnificent, and I think we have 11 dioramas and sets where you can put yourself into the world of Studio Ghibli.
And I have to say, the Jean-Michel Basquiat exhibit is absolutely world
Yes.
class as well.
Correct.
And that's going to be going on, I believe, until early March.
Yeah, that's at the convention.
Yeah.
Yes, but I've been in there and it's magnificent. The design and the curation is absolutely top notch.
And the first time in Asia, if you're into street art, modern art, that is one definitely to go to.
I haven't been to that one yet. I should get down there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm
Just
going to take the family for that.
Yeah. 10 rooms, each room has its own
Yes.
music and its own vibe and everything, and a lounge at the end where people can hang out.
Correct,
and-
yes. Where you
I
can
was
chill
there.
and relax.
I saw it all. We were there, hanging out with the beautiful people, drinking champagne at the end
Yeah,
of the
I didn't do all that,
exhibit.
but I did go to Studio Ghibli, and it was very, very nice. Spirited Away, of course, is one of the most famous movies. My Neighbor Totoro, fantastic exhibition. And when is it finish?
2nd of February, so the Sunday
Gotta
after
get down
Chinese
there.
New Year.
Gotta get down there.
Gotta get down there. Yeah,
fabulous stuff.
Don't go visit your family and friends and
No.
relatives over the holiday. Just go to Marina Bay Sands.
And we also have our all-time favorite, our permanent exhibition, Future World.
Love it.
That's in collaboration with Team Lab. We
was
just
good.
introduced one new artwork over last week too.
Nice.
So,
Fabulous.
yeah.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Jason, we are going to leave it there. Jason Teo, the Director of Attractions at the Art Science Museum, Marina Bay Sands. Thank you for being with us and cluing us into what's happening down there.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Neil. It was fabulous being here.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.